It even shows you your visceral fat at 0.2. Anything above 1.6 kilograms is room for concern.
Okay. Basically, what do you get from this?
What do I get from this? A lot of people, when they start their fitness journeys, they put themselves on scales and only they measure themselves off scales. So all they'll see is weight going up, weight going down. This lets my clients see exactly how much of that is muscle mass, how much of that is body fat percentage. It even shows them their bone mass percentage as well. So it does. It shows them their volumetrics. It shows a clear-cut picture of an individual's body that a scale can't show you to the finest detail. So whenever we see the scales going up and someone gets upset and goes, oh, weird, and then they get on this here scanner and it shows you you've actually put on muscle mass, all of a sudden tears turn to joy. It gives my clients a proper view of their body about what's going on.
You've been a PT for 10 years.
10 years, man. Don't know anything else. So I went into management for Pure Gym, and I did that for a couple of years, and I just hated it. I didn't like it, and I missed being a PT. So whenever lockdown was over, I just made a decision to go back into it, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I just loved it, love it. So look ahead, you'll feel a bit of pressure on the head there. So we'll say 6 foot in the nose and 183 centimeters. But what's happening now is it's processing your results. So what's going to happen is you're going to see you come up in the big screen here. So what we look for is as many green lines as possible on the body, just to make sure it's nice and smooth, no jagged edges. We want that avatar to look pretty sweet. That's perfect. Look at that. That's amazing. So let's look at these results, will we? So that's you as you live and breathe. In fact, I'll just put it in a bit. I'll just blow it up a wee bit. So that is you. So as you were going around in a circle, infrared beams were going up and down your body, and the system was taking cameras or pictures of your body as you were going around, and that's made your 3D avatar. As you can see, we've got loads of green lines on that there. It looks perfect. So what we'll do is we'll go over your results.
Basically, what do you get from this?
What do I get from this? So basically, a lot of people, when they start their fitness journeys, they put themselves on scales and only they measure themselves off scales. So all they'll see is weight going up, weight going down. This lets my clients see exactly how much of that is muscle mass, how much of that is body fat percentage. It even shows them their bone mass percentage as well. So it does. It shows them their volumetrics. It shows a clear-cut picture of an individual's body that a scale can't show you to the finest detail. So whenever we see the scales going up and someone gets upset and goes, oh, weird, and then they get on this here scanner and it shows you you've actually put on muscle mass, all of a sudden tears turn to joy. Do you know what I mean? So it gives my clients a proper view of their body about what's going on. And that's why I like it. It's just extremely data driven. So it's just...
So if I have one I use in my gym, that give me maybe muscle mass,
so
body mass, fat, all those things, why do I still need to use this? What is the difference?
So the difference is, so you're using what we call a BIA scanner. So a BIA scanner sends a current through your body, and it is extremely temperamental. So you could stand on that BIA scanner, right? And it'll tell you you're 20% body fat. And then you go on that there BIA scanner an hour later, and it tells you you're 30% body fat. So it's very temperamental. Things like time of day, hydration levels can affect the readings on it. This scanner has been already put through rigorous testings through a lot of the universities in America. And it's already been shown that doesn't matter what point in the day you stand on it, doesn't matter who you are, the results will always yield the same every single time.
So what you're saying to me now is this is more accurate, because I used one and then I think I had issue with my body fat. My body fat was low. After 6 months, I used it again. I increased my body fat with just 0.5%. And seeing what I can see now, this is 20.4. So my body fat was, I think, 4 point something.
So you can't. So essential. So you wouldn't be standing here if your body fat was sitting at 4%.
I was like, I can't be that low.
Yeah, exactly. So the essential body fat for a man is 5%. We can't go lower than 5%. But if you're sitting at 5%, you would know, like, you'd be gaunt as anything. Every part of your body that's muscle would just be sticking out. You wouldn't be 4% still standing here. This doesn't just show you numbers. This also shows you preventative measures to take as well. So we'll talk you through it. So look, you've got all your readings here. So we're showing body fat percentage at 20.4. Mass at 76.2, so I'll just highlight that as well. If we go down to things like, it even shows you your visceral fat at 0.2. Anything above 1.6 kilograms is room for concern. It even shows you, so while you were going around, it's done all your measurements around your body as well. So you have a chest of 106 centimeters. If we go lower, we've got your narrowest part of your waist is 81.9. If we go lower than that there, so waist abdominal, 84.2. So it's literally done all your centimeters around your body. And this is free infrared beams that pick this up. So this is very accurate to a point. And it's even done your volumetrics. So you can see how even your body is as well. So if we look at your left arm holds for 3.9 liters of water, but your right arm holds for 3.7, not a massive difference. So we can turn around and say you're quite symmetrical when it comes to your arms. And if we look at our legs, your legs are quite symmetrical as well. So let's look at all the preventative measures here too. So this shows you on a graph where your body fat percentage is put you at. So you're sitting at 20.4. So as we can see, and this puts you into the fit category, as we can see, the fit category is anything between 12 and 20.9. So you're bridging on the high end of the fit category for your body fat percentage. But it's also saying that you're doing 60% better than men between the age of 30 and 39. So it even shows you what your comparisons are. And this is across thousands of scans of men of your age group as well. So that's where the comparison comes from. I can take your percentage of 20.4. I can scroll down to 15%. And I can tell that client that you need to lose roughly 5 kilograms of fat to get to 15% body fat. Do you see what I mean? And
so how do I lose that 5% of fat and not losing muscle?
So again, watch that. So even if you're dropping down, if you're going to a calorie deficit, there will be some muscle wastage. So it's about how do I do it, but not lose as much muscle. Okay. So to do that, you have to make sure that when we go into a deficit, we don't drop down astronomically. I always try to encourage come down slightly. Don't come down massive, because if you come down too much, then your body's going to have to start breaking down muscle so it will. And the other thing as well is, obviously, I'm going to sound a cliche here, but making sure you keep your protein intake higher, or making sure that we're getting a rich protein source into our diet consistently throughout our day. If we do that there, then what we do is we decrease the chance of the opportunity for muscle wastage. But what this does as well is, as it says, that'll show you how much you need to be losing and how much calories you need to be getting in to lose. If you were looking to get down to 15% body fat, you would have to lose 5 kilograms of fat. What we've told the machine is we want to drop down to 15% body fat. We're working at it 4 times in a week. So we should be losing roughly 0.9 kilograms of fat per week. So that puts us at a goal date to get down to 15% by May 24th, 2000. So it even sets a date for you. Now that date is give or take, because I always say it doesn't take in consideration human error. So what I mean by that is you might have a week off, you might have a week where it might be Christmas, Easter holidays, eating loads of Easter eggs, you know what I mean? Like things can slow that down. So that's give or take May 24th,
so these
2026.
will actually help you to track your goal and know the time
gives you
frame.
A goal, but it gives you something to work to. See, most people, if you give them something to work towards, like a date, a goal date, they'll work. Okay. So the next one is the calorie calculator. So if I click over here, it's saying with your body shape, your BMI. So what you have to burn to just keep things working healthily internally is 1,968. But we've told the machine you're working at it 4 times in a week. So it puts you through what we call a Benedict's equation. So that means Benedict's equation.
What's that?
So the Benedict's equation works out what our total daily energy expenditure is. So how much do we need to burn to maintain the size that we are? So you, with the shape that you're in and the age group you're in, you need to burn 3,149 calories. So you need to consume. So if you eat that amount of calories, you should stay the same size, give or take. But we don't want to stay the same size. We want to get down to 15% body fat. So the machine's worked out that if we want to get down to 15% body fat and stay at goal date of May 24, 2026, we need to drop by 787 calories. And that brings us down to 2,362 calories per day to be eaten, give or take, for us to stay in goal date. Okay. And one last tab, and I'll leave you to it, is your health markers. So while you were spinning on that pod, this got artificial intelligence built into it as well. So the AI was looking at your body and it was working out your prevalence for cancer, diabetes, respiratory, and cardiovascular disease. So this is quite a lot of these. So if you look at this here, see that wee shape there? So if we see how it's highlighted the red, that's your waist. So if we cut your waist in half, that's what you look like at a bird's eye view. So that's your tummy, your side, and your back. Now, as you start to drop more fat, that's going to start coming in more, giving you more of an oval shape. So you can see this. So your waist circumference is 84.2. Anything below 90 puts you at a low risk category. Your waist to hip ratio puts you at 0.8. Anything below a 1 puts you at a low risk category. So you're a healthy specimen. So your risk analyst. So these are all going to be low because obviously what your waist circumference is saying. So the lowest you can get is 1% because nothing's rest assured is. So you've got a 1% chance of cancer for a weight-related issue. Again, low marker. 1% chance of cardiovascular disease for a weight-related issue. Again, low marker. 1% chance of a respiratory disease for a weight-related issue. Again, low marker. And 1% chance for any other disease, i.e. diabetes. Again, low marker.
If 1% is low marker, what is the average?
So 1%. So there's no, you can't really put an average on that one there because obviously everybody's bodies are built differently. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So if we look at the risk reduction, this is just going to say that for you to be at a healthier position, you need to lose 0 centimeters. Do you know what I mean? So say, for example, if you were standing in front of me and there was a wee bit more to you and your markers were a wee bit higher, like you had a 3% chance of respiratory disease for a weight-related issue, this would tell you how many centimeters you have to lose to drop those markers.
Okay.
But because your markers are already low.
So basically saying I have nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, so it's basically saying you're a blank canvas. You just do what you got to do from this point here.
Okay.
You don't need to drop too much weight you don't need to drop weight because of your unhealthy markers.
Okay.
If you drop weight, it's because you just want to drop body fat. Okay. So you've got that autonomy now. But if you were someone who was, say, for example, really overweight, problem breathing because obviously pressure on the chest because all that weight, this machine will pick up on that straight away, and it would tell you how many centimeters you need to drop at your waist to keep you at a healthier position so that you can have a healthier lifestyle. Right? That's what we try and do here as well, is that we try to take someone who's in an unhealthy position, tell them exactly how much centimeters they have to lose to put them into a better position so they've got a healthier. This gives my clients the results and data that they wouldn't get with any other personal trainer.
So often do you think one should do this to track?
It's every 4 to 5 weeks. So anything too soon, because the results, because it picks up the finest bit of detail, you need to make sure that there's a window between one scan to the other. And I always say about 4 to 5 weeks. So it means that there's more for this machine to pick up on. Because if you're coming back every week, there's less for the machine to pick, because it's just too soon, if you know what I mean. You want to make sure that this machine is picking up as much as possible. So I always say 4 to 5 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean.
Never a bar, big man. Never a bar.